number 14, I believe. I'll have to check that, but I believe. Sorry. So I'm gonna try and keep this short and sweet and to the point. So I'm gonna start with Ashes of Legends, which is the new series that I'm working on, which is the series that involves gypsies, soldiers, past lives, and the Bermuda Triangle. I love that description. Just the description gets me excited. But yes, so I'm really enjoying that series, and in my last video, if you saw my last writing journey video, I mentioned how I was in talks with a small press publisher about them publishing it because I liked the idea of having a small team around me to kind of, you know, get it out there into the world. And they've asked to see the full manuscript, which is really exciting, and so I recently sent that out to them, and now I'm just waiting to hear back on their thoughts, and of course, if we're going in together, and you know, what the next steps are for Ashes of Legends. Meanwhile, I have of course been working on the second book in the series, which for now we'll just call Ashes of Legends 2. I do have a name for it, but of course I have to say that until the title reveal. So for now, we'll just call it Ashes of Legends 2. So I have been working on that one, and I think I've mentioned before as well in another writing journey that this one will be gypsies, soldiers, pirates, and past lives at the Bermuda Triangle. So I recently just introduced the pirates, which I am loving. Those of you that answered with your thoughts on what pirates names I should go with, thank you very much. I don't want to reveal which name won just yet, but I will say it begins with R. So if he is the only one that begins with R, you can figure out who he is, but I can't remember if there's more that begin with R. And I recently just introduced him into the story. He makes a dramatic entrance, which I didn't see coming, and I love him so much already. And his crew. That's one thing that I really love about writing these characters and these series, like both my series and just writing in general. When I create a character, I have an idea of what I want and their personality, but I don't know, they always seem to just evolve and take on this magical life of their own and do things that I did not expect. And like, I'm like, oh, but you're supposed to do that. Where are you going? And they go, like, they go. But normally, like 99% of the time when they go, they make it much better than I could possibly imagine. So yes, so this pirate came in at a scene that I didn't plan for him to come in, but he came in, and it's been really, really exciting to write. But I actually haven't managed to work on the second book in a couple of days now. I mean, it's not so long, it's only been like 3 days, but for me that's a long time to be away from it. However, I haven't been able to work on it because I've been working on something else, which which brings me to the Water Rushes series, which, as you all know, is my first YA fantasy series out there in the world. So recently you would have seen, particularly if you follow me on Facebook, that I have been doing a lot of polls to find out people's opinions on covers, you know, covers with people on them, covers with symbols on them, covers with eyes or covers without eyes, and I've been doing like title opinions and blurb opinions and just getting a lot of feedback from my audience, which is all of you fantastic people. So I've been doing that back and forth thing with you guys for a while and making small changes to the Water Rushes series, which has been so exciting. But the other day I was speaking to some industry professionals, like other authors and publishers in the industry, and they were really supportive, but they were like, you know what, you've done so many polls on so many little things, you know, on ways to make the book on the outside more appealing, you know, to make the cover more attractive, to make the blurb more attractive, to make the title more attractive, and everything just to make it more attractive on the outside, because of course if no one's attracted to it, I know they say you should never judge a book by its cover, but people do. So, you know, you definitely want the outside of your book to be as attractive as what's on the inside of the book, because that's what gets people to go to the inside of the book. So they were like, okay, you're doing all these things, but rather than consistently going back, why not just get all your polls answered and do a big makeover? Because the thing that I was toying with at the time was changing the series name, because though I love the Water Rushes series as a name, when I started looking at other series titles and books and stuff, I realized actually the Water Rushes doesn't actually tell you much about the series. So I had this other series title in mind, and they were just like, okay, great, so you know, you're changing the series name, you're changing the covers, you're changing the blurb, you're changing this. Do it all at once and relaunch it. And I was like, huh, why didn't I think of this? But then I thought to myself, okay, if I'm gonna do one big makeover and relaunch it, you know, let it be more than just, hey, I've changed, you know, the covers and stuff like that. I thought, let me, you know, add something to the book itself. So I'm making an extended 2018 edition where basically I'm gonna add in more scenes, and it's also gonna have a bonus short story called The Emerald Eye, and it will be released under its new series name, which is The Last Elantris. And I went with that because there is this girl called Lexovia who is the last of her kind, which is an Elantris. She is the last Elantris, and the Elantris are the most powerful. And she accidentally gets switched with her non-magical ordinary earth person, like me and you. They get switched because they look the same, and something happens, and they go through the portal, and the magical girl ends up in our world, and the non-magical girl ends up in their world, confused and mistaken for the last Elantris. And things just go crazy. So The Last Elantris felt like such a perfect title. So thank you so much for all your support, and thank you for those that helped me reach this decision, who gave incredible feedback, and yeah, who just stuck with me through this journey. And I hope that you like the new extended editions of The Last Elantris series, and I have gotten the cover for book 3.5, which I will show you now, which is the prequel to the series and the history of that world, but should be read after book 3 if you want to avoid spoilers. And that is Once Upon a Tide! Woo woo woo! See the sparkly blue. And that is all that's going on in my writing journey so far. I'm waiting to hear back about Ashes of Legends after they read through the full manuscript, and I'm working on the relaunch of the Last Elantris series. Still can't get used to calling it that, of the Last Elantris series, and I'm working on book 2 in the Ashes of Legends series, and I'm working on book 4 in the Last Elantris series, which is very exciting. Yes, and that is all for today. I will talk to you again in another month, and hopefully I will have even more to share with you. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, I'll see you. Bye!